Hello everyone, and thank you for visiting my channel Englishly. Today we continue talking about the present perfect tense. First, we will repeat when to use present perfect tense, and then we will move to how to form questions and negative sentences. After that, of course, practice. There is one grammar exercise and one speaking practice. If you prefer to practice positive sentences in the present perfect tense, feel free to follow the link under the video where I explain this topic. Let's start. Let's also remember the formula of the present perfect tense, so how to form the present perfect, questions and negatives. First of all, let's refresh this formula have has plus the third form of the verb. It can be a regular verb like cooked, danced, or an irregular verb like seen and slept. So let's see when we use have and when we use has in the present perfect. I have eaten, you have eaten, she, he, it has eaten, we have eaten, you have eaten, and they have eaten. And now let's move directly to how to form present perfect questions. There is always this formula have has plus the third form of the verb. However, in the questions have has we put before the subject. For example, have you heard this song? To hear is an irregular verb. Hear, heard, heard. The third form is heard. Sorry. Number 2. Have you watched this movie? To watch, regular verb. Watch, watched, watched. So we use the third form is watched. Number 3. Has she drunk hot milk with honey? To drink is an irregular verb. Drink, drank, drunk. The third form is drunk, so here we use the third form, that is drunk. How to form present perfect negative sentences? The same formula have has, we only add not. Number 1 example. Example number 1. You haven't heard this song. Here heard, heard, again the third form is heard. Number 2. You haven't watched this movie. Watch, watched, watched. Watched is a regular verb. We add ed at the end, so we take the third form anyway, watched. Number 3. She hasn't drunk hot milk with honey. Drink, drank, drunk. The third form is drunk. So the same formula have has plus the third form of the verb, and also we add not. So now let's move to practice. If you have any questions, I suggest you watching again the grammar. If not, let's do this exercise. Form the questions and negative sentences from these phrases. Example, I have heard this song. Have you heard this song? I haven't heard this song. So the practice is number 1. She has jumped with a parachute. 2. They have read this book. 3. Anne has read Harry Potter. 4. We have been to New York. 5. He has drunk this coffee. 6. My mom has baked a delicious apple cake. 7. Jane has finished her book. 8. James has gone to Mexico. 9. Elsa has bought a new dress. 10. My friends have watched a new episode of Witcher. Let's have a look at the answers. Number 1. She hasn't jumped with a parachute. Has she jumped with a parachute? 2. They haven't read this book. Have they read this book? 3. Anne hasn't been to New York. Has she been to New York? 4. Anne hasn't read Harry Potter. Has she read Harry Potter? 5. He hasn't drunk this coffee. Has he drunk this coffee? 6. My mom hasn't baked a delicious apple cake. Has she baked a delicious apple cake? 7. Jane hasn't finished her book. Has she finished her book? 8. James hasn't gone to Mexico. Has he gone to Mexico? 9. Ilsa hasn't bought a new dress. Has she bought a new dress? 10. They haven't watched a new episode of Witcher. Have they watched a new episode of Witcher? And also we have a short speaking practice. Fill the gaps in the dialogue. Imagine how you can make these questions and how you can answer. Number 1. Hi, how are you? You, and here is your answer or your question. The answer to your question is yes, I have been to New Zealand. And you? No, I. And here is your answer. Think about this, what you can answer, what you can ask in this dialogue. Take your time. Number 2. You, this book. Yes, I have read this book. It's amazing. And you? No, unfortunately I. Again, take your time, no rush. Stop here and push the pause, and after, when you finish, only after this, go to the answers. And here are the answers, guys. We have almost finished. So speaking practice answers. The dialogue is: Hi, how are you? Have you been to New Zealand? Yes, I have been to New Zealand. And you? No, I haven't been to New Zealand. And number 2, have you read this book? Yes, I have read this book. It's amazing. And you? No, unfortunately, I haven't read this book. This is all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching it. Present perfect is a very curious and complicated tense, so if you have any questions, write down the comments, ask me in the comments these questions, and also watch other videos connected to the present perfect or connected to English grammar with Englishly. I wish you a good day and see you in the next video. Bye bye!